You want a girlfriend? Like you want like a girlfriend?
Yeah, I'm a love addict.
Are you a Taurus?
Oh, what?
What's your zodiac sign?
Virgo, cusp of Libra. But I'm always like looking for love.
Really?
Yeah, every girl. If I see a girl that's beautiful across the street, like I love her.
Hey guys, welcome to Comedy Club Confessions. My guest today is the very funny, very talented Ari Mannis.
Oh wow, thank you for saying that. Likewise,
he's
a lot of talent in this room.
He is so funny. He is so funny. I don't know if you guys know this guy. He's very, 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 very funny.
Thank you.
I've never seen you bomb. Honestly, I've never.
I definitely have.
But I've never seen you. Every time I've seen you, you've always brought it. Like,
thank you.
I remember the last time we worked together, I had a show at the Ice House, and you were just in the area. I'm like, hey, you want to go up next? And you went up.
That was so cool and so nice of you.
And you destroyed that room.
I'm not gonna lie, I had a good set that night.
You had a really good set.
That night was.
And I was like, damn, Ari's hilarious.
Thank you.
So listen, we're just talking about love right now. This is a new thing for me. I'm 32 years old, looking for love. Is there a specific type of girl you like?
I like petite women.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All the girls have been petite.
I like girls who take care of themselves.
Okay.
If a girl likes ice cream, that's fine. I like ice cream.
Yeah.
You got to run a mile the next day.
Wow.
You got to burn that ice cream
That's
off.
crazy. Would you run with her?
Yeah, I'll run with her.
No way.
I'm always trying to better my body and myself. So this sounds harsh. Some people are going to be turned away, especially my heavy-set female listeners who I love.
Yeah.
As friends.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm attracted to.
Have you ever been with a big girl?
No.
I have.
I've been with girls that were big for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I like all 31 flavors, you know. I've dabbled in the, you know, with all sizes. And but I'm a petite. I like petite. I think I like it because I've always been like the big guy in a cheer squad, and I would.
You were on a cheerleading squad?
I wasn't in the squad. I was a TA for cheer.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It was like, yeah, I was a teacher's assistant for sixth period. It was, and I liked it. Like I didn't need the credits. I was graduating.
You were around hot girls.
So I said I'm around hot girls, and then I would eventually like, oh, we need a spotter or this and that. And I would carry them. But I never went to competitions or anything. I was just trying to
you help
cop a
feel.
Yeah. Cop a feel. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you got all the perks and none of the pressure of being
and I had to dress up like I was in jeans and the wife beater, you know.
And they felt safe because they thought you were gay the whole time.
100%. And that's, you know what's funny? I got that a lot too growing up because after high school I worked at a women's clothing store. Same
Which
reason.
One?
Charlotte Russe in the mall.
Oh, okay.
But I was just trying to, you know, hook up on chicks, and
it's smart when you like you think you got to think if you're a guy, what position do you have to put yourself in to just meet women?
Yeah,
it's hard. That's the hardest part for me. Isn't talking to them, isn't being cool, it's just meeting them.
Yeah.
If I met them, I'm good.
Yeah, and they goes, oh, does this look good? I'm like, yeah, it looks good. Let's go out later. And that's what happened. And I got fired. Dude, so this is Comedy Club Confessions, and you have a really interesting story. I remember you posting something about how you wrote a sketch for like a sketch packet for SNL.
Yeah, this happened, man. It's been over a year this happened. But no, my next door neighbor and I, formerly writing partners.
Yeah.
His name's Alex Ansaliaga. I don't know if you know him or not. He's friends with like Amir K and a few boys. He's not in the comedy scene very heavily, but he does it. Anyways, we were neighbors. One of my best friends at the time, so we would write all the time. And he wrote this sketch. It was the Salt Bae sketch. And the reason he wrote it was because people would always tell him he looked like Salt Bae. He did the Salt Bae character. And then, you know, I helped him with it too. I helped write it and punch it up. We shot it together. We were both in it, stuff like that. Then I submitted it on my SNL packet.
Yeah.
When I don't know if the listeners know how it works, but you basically
what's
move to
SNL
LA.
Packet?
It sounds like a cool thing to get an SNL packet, but basically if you have any sort of legitimate manager, you'll get, and you want to do that, you could submit a packet to SNL to write for the show, write or potentially be on the show, I guess. So it was like my second year doing one, and I wanted to do all new sketches from the first year. So I was like, hey, is it cool if I submit a sketch, the Salt Bae sketch we did? And he's like, yeah, go for it. So I did it. Didn't think anything of it. It was even, we shot this sketch and put it out. Wasn't even one of my favorite sketches.
Yeah.
Like, I think I removed it from my Instagram grid.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if that might be too inside baseball, but for me, I'll post something, and if I like it, I'll leave it up, and if I'm like okay about it, I'll like remove it a couple days later.
But it's still in your Instagram.
It's still there.
Yeah, I actually learned about it recently. It helps your algorithm.
Yeah, like if you post a reel and then you're like, you know what, I want to leave the reel up, but I don't want it on my main. I don't want to highlight it when people look at it. Yeah. So that's why I took it down. It was still on my YouTube, still on my reels, and then 6 months later, someone tagged me on SNL's video saying, hey, they stole your sketch because they posted it to their Instagram.
Yeah.
So I was getting a few tags on that thing saying, hey, this is Ari Mannis's. And at first I watched it and I was like,
what?
This is a lot like the sketch we did.
Yeah.
And then I texted Alex and I was like, hey, do you think they took our sketch?
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, it's verbatim. It's exactly the sketch we made. And I was like, weird. And honestly, I was never mad about it. The whole time I was kind of flabbergasted.
Like it felt like a compliment, maybe?
A little bit of a compliment, but more like the whole time. I lived in LA 10, 11 years now. And I would always hear comedians say shit like, that guy steals, that show stole my shit, this network stole my TV show idea. And in my head, I would always be like,
shit.
yeah, okay, like whatever. There's so much people submitting jokes in comedy. Like I'm sure it was Parallel Thought or You're Crazy. I never in a million years thought SNL actually, or even writers for TV shows or comedians, stole for the most part. I know there's like Carlos Mencia and there's incidents of it that have happened.
Yeah.
But I've always been, I don't know if it's naive or innocent, but in my head I'm like,
you're looking for girls. You're looking for skinny girls.
I'm looking for love. And also like I always write my own stuff, and I don't personally, I wouldn't enjoy doing stand-up or sketches if I was ripping someone else's shit off.
Yeah.
For me, half the fun is that this is my thing. It's the creativeness. And I don't mind if someone helps me with a tag or punches up or helps me write. I'm no problem with that. But like to just blatantly steal something, to me, it's not why I got into comedy.
Like, you're not a good person if you steal. I just feel like those people that do steal are not happy with their careers. Like you said, it's the whole part about how can you be up there. Like, even those comics that have the same 15 minutes and they've been doing it for 25 years and it's just the same 15 minutes. Like, when you watch it, you're like, you start, like, just repeating their own, like, their set, you know? I'm not happy. I don't, when I go on stage, I don't do the same set. I might have similar jokes, but I'll do different order, or I'll change it up, or I'll do some, you know?
Yeah, it gets stale, it gets boring, and then doing someone else's anyways. So we made a video together, highlighting our sketch and then the sketch they put out, just showing to the community, oh, look, someone stole our shit.
Yeah.
And we put it out, and it went
viral. It
went not viral, but it went comedy scene viral. You know what I mean?
Like, I saw it and I didn't know which one was SNL.
Yeah.
That's how close it was.
It was so close.
It was super close.
I think it got, I want to say, I don't even remember because I took it down, but I want to say it got like 50 to 100,000 views across all the platforms. We put on YouTube, Reddit, Facebook, Instagram. We posted it over Twitter. And so it definitely wasn't viral. It wasn't like millions of views. The comedy scene, but every comedian was tagging us and stuff like that. And it got to the point where nothing happened from it. Like, SNL never reached out. No one, no jobs. Nothing came out of it. But my neighbor at the time, he got really mad because I have more of a following than he does. Yeah. And I was getting like most of the attention from it. Even though it was like his sketch.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, what's his name again? Let's give him a shout out.
So his name's Alex, and he got really mad, and we're no longer friends because of it.
Wow. Yeah. Whoa. Really?
Yeah. So that
sucks.
It's crazy that a little dumb sketch that went micro viral in the comedy scene to me it just created such a dramatic week of my life.
I didn't know this part. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, not many people do. So like, we live in the same building. We walk by each other now. Don't even talk. Don't even say hello.
And he was one of your best friends.
He was one of my best friends. All over this dumb. Like, imagine if it was a TV show that we were pitching.
Or we have Alex in the studio right now. He's about to come out.
Jerry. But imagine if it was like a real. This was over a sketch I didn't even like that much.
Yeah.
I took off my profile grid. SNL took it. It was crazy. But yeah, that's basically the whole story.
Were you guys like really, really close friends?
Yeah, pretty much. We would hang out a few times a week.
honestly.
I miss them
because I have friends like that I like you miss them, like
I miss
it's over some bullshit,
it's over.
I feel
bullshit.
like you guys just sat down and talked. You guys would squash it.
Well, here's the thing, too. If I'm being honest, like I wouldn't. If he, I don't know. I definitely. We're both prideful people.
I got
it. And he's not gonna admit
he's not gonna be wrong. You're not gonna be wrong.
Yeah, we're neither of us are gonna be wrong.
Well, no one's wrong though. It's just that.
Well,
you're more in the comedy. You have more backup from comedy.
Yeah, but he ended up saying like I had nothing to do with the sketch. I was just an actor. He didn't want me to.
Well, then that's his problem. His
right.
Ego, yeah.
But even if we were to squash the beef, which I'd like to do, we can never get back to that same. Like,
it's never gonna be the same.
It's never gonna be the same.
It's like both of you like bang the same girl, and he's like I can't talk to you anymore.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
it's like the script was the girl.
I wish that happened instead. I'm more okay with that. My friend, if I'm not in love with the girl, I don't care if my friends.
Really?
Yeah.
But you just said you fall in love with everyone almost.
I do, but then okay. So first I'll fall in love at first sight.
Okay.
And then once I get to know the girl, I don't always love them.
What's a turn off with the girl? What turns you off?
A big turn off is if they're mean.
Mean.
Yeah, okay, so I like a nice girl. Yeah, they have to have a good heart. They have to have a warm heart.
Yeah, you gotta go to a Filipino, a smart little one.
Yeah, Filipinos do have warm hearts.
My girl's Filipino.
Yeah, Filipinos have big warm hearts. I'd like to, have her set me up with her sister.
You. Yeah, as a brother.
Yeah, I'll eat dog meat, whatever.
They don't eat dogs.
Yeah. I'm just being racist.
That's so racist.
Yeah, but I like racist humor. Yeah. Some people say it's like, oh, you're ignorant. I'm like, no, that's a classic form of humor that'll never die.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think honestly, this world, I think we're all a little racist, but there's a little thin, small little line you can't cross. But
yeah,
when you cross it a little bit,
I might have crossed it.
You cross it, whatever,
a little bit. And then I also don't like dum-dums, girls who are dumb.
Okay.
And like listen, most people are dumb.
God, where are we going? That kind of dumb.
Yeah,
or just like dumb, like. They don't know math.
No, more the first kind. More like ditzy.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even try. Like if you're like, hey, do you want to watch a movie? She's like, I don't like movies.
Oh,
I watch makeup tutorials and that's it. Just so like girly girls that don't even have the intention of learning anything new.
Yeah.
And if you're like, you want to go camping? They're like, no, not into camping. They eat like 3 different foods. Just like a girl, just a hot girl, basically, but acts like just a basic hot girl.
Just an Instagram model.
Yeah, Instagram models.
Yeah, you can't fall in love with those.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about me? My last girlfriend, she was really smart. She was pre-med. And that was a turn off to me because she was too smart for me.
She was too smart.
I was like,
it's that balance.
Like, she would say stuff and I'm like, bitch, what the fuck did you just say? And I'm like Googling it.
I get what you mean though, because I say that I don't like dumb girls, but I'm definitely dumb. So
would you get bad grades in high school?
Smart. I barely graduated high school.
Okay, cool.
so that's the thing. If a girl's too dumb for me, she's really fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And if a girl's too smart for me, she's probably just average.
So she dated a Mexican. You know?
Yeah.
You like Mexican girls?
I like all girls.
And you want a family too. She'll have 2 kids too.
Yeah.
She
might already have
you have 2 kids. You got a family going.
I like Mexican girls. I like
family.
I like all girls.
Yeah.
For the most part, except for. Won't say it. Yeah.
Okay, so Ari is so I started comedy. My family owns a comedy club. I grew up in the comedy business. Ha Comedy Club.
It used to be the Ha Cafe and now it's a Ha Comedy Club.
It used to be Hola Amigos, then it was LA Amigos, then it was Ha Cafe, now it's Ha Comedy Club.
Got it. Okay. I still sometimes call it Ha Cafe.
Everyone still calls it Ha Cafe. It's just so easy.
Ha Comedy Club, yeah.
Yeah, but Ha Comedy Club.
Great club.
And you came to LA from where?
I'm originally from San Diego. I moved to LA right after college where I was living in Northern California, Santa Cruz.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then you came here and you started working at the Comedy Store right away?
So I didn't really know how comedy worked at all. Mm-hmm. I tried it 3 or 4 times in college and I literally did, and I did good. And that may come off as braggadocious. I'm not saying I was good, but I did good. I had 3 or 4 good sets.
Yeah.
I think I bombed 1 time and had like 3. So in my head, I was like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the big leagues. Let's go.
Let's go to Hollywood,
Not
baby.
saying that's how it should have been, but that's where my confidence level was at age 22. I was like, I'm a great comedian. I'm moving to LA or New York. So my aunt lived in LA pretty close to the Comedy Store and Laugh Factory in that West Hollywood area.
Your aunt's Jewish.
My aunt, she is Jewish.
Yeah, I can tell. She lives in that area.
Yeah, in that area, like right by all the 3 major Hollywood clubs.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, if I came, could I stay with you until I got a job? I was like, don't worry, I'm really good. I'll get a job. I was like, you don't even have to worry. I'm going to be making a living in comedy in downtown.
I'm going to be famous tomorrow.
Yeah. I had a film degree too. So I was like, if not, I'll at least get a job like editing a TV show or something like that. Just in my head, like I'm going to get all these insanely competitive jobs.
You're like,
she's like, yeah, sure, come. So I was living in her garage. And so I didn't have to pay rent. Yeah. I had a car already. I had a little bit of money saved. So for the first 6 months in LA, I was just grinding hard, like 3 open mics a night, hanging out at the store pretty much every night. Wasn't a door guy, but just hanging out there all the time and doing shows and whatever shows and mics I could. Yeah. I think I would. Did you ever do the show, the Hooters on Hollywood Boulevard?
Yeah.
I was doing that show a lot. This was like back in the day, this guy from San Diego was running it, so he liked that I was from San Diego. Anyway, yeah. I was just doing this mic night thing, not making any money at all, but treating it like it was a full-time job. And then I got the first, like, I don't want to call it a break, but like stand-up break was Mark Saratella booked me on Comedy Juice.
Yeah.
And I started hosting that a lot.
Comedy Juice is a huge, it was basically Supernova, what it is today.
Yeah, and at this time, this was 2012, 2013. Yeah. It was the hot show on Wednesday night. Every comic was at the Hollywood Improv to hang out at Comedy Juice because everyone wanted to do Comedy Juice. That was just, I think it was at the time in my mind, it was the number one show. It was like that and maybe like Jonah and Kumail's show at Meltdown because they had a TV show. Those were like the 2 ones that you'd see people hanging out at. So Mark was really... I don't know why, but he liked me.
Yeah, dude, totally. Yeah, dude, totally.
Yeah. Didn't have to do cocaine with him, nothing. Just he doesn't do that anymore. No, but at the time he was doing old Mark was doing a lot of drugs, but I didn't even do that. He booked me to host. I think it was because I just looked like such a nerd. Still do, but I was just like a young Jewy looking nerd that he's like, that kid's gonna be responsible. Like he'll host a show and do an okay job. And he was right. Like I went the first time at the Ice House. Hosted the show, was professional, did a good job.
Oh, it was the Ice House too. Remember that?
The Ice House was the first one I did because the Hollywood one was hard to get, so I had to like earn my stripes at the Ice House, Madhouse. There was one in Irvine. At the time, there was it was so many different juices. There was even one at the Ha for a while. So I did the Ice House, and the owner of the Ice House at the time, his name was Bob Fisher. Mm-hmm. Again, it was luck. It was like being in the right place, right time. He happened to be there the night I hosted. He really liked my set and liked me. And then he's like, hey, you should come perform here all the time. So now I'm like, I wasn't making a living, but I was making about $200 a month doing stand-up from Comedy Juice and from Ice House.
Which is great because you're new in L.A.,
I'm 6 months in LA.
6 months in LA.
Really, like
he's already making
8 months
money
into comedy. Yeah, 8 months into comedy. So for how much time I'm doing comedy, even now when I look back, like I was killing it. I was making $800 a month doing stand-up comedy in LA, which I don't even know if I do that now every month. Like I was getting more consistent bookings then 1 year into comedy than I am now. But it was just enough to where I got the cheapest studio apartment in LA. That was like $875 a month, so I was like scraping by off stand up and paying my bills.
And that's all. You weren't doing anything else.
Nothing else. I mean, I think I was doing side work here and there, like an editing job would come up, but for the most part, it was just $800 a month, not making a lot, just going around doing the Comedy Juices and doing the Ice House a couple times a week. Then I met this girl at the Hooters on Hollywood Boulevard.
And
this goes back to my falling in love story. I fell in love. I did. First sight. This girl was beautiful. I was just taken aback. I was too scared to talk to her. My friend Terrell talked to her for me. We ended up having
Terrell's a black dude?
He is a black dude.
Yeah,
Terrell,
he
has confidence. He had black confidence.
Yeah, black
guy confidence. I wish I had it. And he's like, hey, my friend thinks you're cute. And she came over and we started talking. We kissed.
Oh!
And I was, after one night, all we didn't have sex, nothing. We just kissed. I was in love.
And she wasn't easy.
Because she wasn't easy. No, that's not why. Oh, okay. It was just I was 22, 23, however old I was.
Was she a comic too?
No. She was an Australian tourist. visiting from Australia, and was an audience member at the Hooters on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, wow.
At the show.
Don't tell me she left.
She left back to Australia like 2 days later.
Dude, this is like Greece. You're Danny Zuko.
So this is how
she
crazy
went back to
I
Australia.
was. My mindset was, I got to go to Australia.
No.
So I lined up a whole tour in Australia for myself, to where I was like, maybe paying for the trip, like not making money, but just maybe like. So I told her, I was like, hey, I happen to be going to Australia to do shows. Would you want to hang out? And she's like, wow, that's so crazy. Right after you saw me, you're performing in Australia.
A little creepy, but all right.
So, but it was wild. So like, again, I'm like a new comic. I'm in Australia touring the country, doing like bar shows, but they were good shows, actually. They were like good bar shows. Like,
how'd you find those shows and all that?
There was this Australian comic in LA at the time. His name was Ben Darso. He was visiting LA. I let him crash with me on my couch.
Oh, what did
he like? It was seriously. This whole story is the stars aligning for me, since they have gone out of alignment. But so he lined me up this whole tour. I spent like a week with her. It was amazing. We ended up breaking up 6 months later because I live in America and she lives in Australia, and that was a stupid thing to do.
But you had that week.
But it was an incredible month-long trip or 2-week trip. I forget how long I was there. Few-week trip in Australia doing stand-up, talking to this girl. I get back to Australia, or from Australia, and the Hooters show ended. I was doing a lot there. Juice was slowing down. I think there was a point where it just started to slow down, and then I was like, I need to get another gig. Like I'm barely afloat right now. So I went to, at this point I'd been hanging out at the Comedy Store for 3 years, most nights just hanging out there. And I went up to the manager, who was Adam Eget. He just became a talent coordinator. And I was like, hey, just putting out there, I would love to be a door guy here. And he was like, you're hired. He's
like, we need somebody.
Yeah. And so I started working there. And I worked there minimum, it was a shitty minimum wage job, but it was a job.
But it's a job.
And you get to do spots.
Yeah, people don't get that. You do this job.
It's a coveted job as a comedian.
Yeah.
Much like working at any comedy club, but probably the store has been there the longest, so it's probably like.
Wasn't the Ice House there longer?
True, the Ice House is there longer, but the store is like onto the Sunset Strip. They take credit for discovering
everybody,
all these famous people who would have been discovered anyway, but they get credit probably for Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, like David Letterman, a lot of massive
fraternity
comedians.
It's the Comedy Store's a fraternity. It's very it's a members only club.
It's a members only club, and I'm still not a member. I'm still not.
But he's in there. He's in there.
But
I go there and do friends and family.
So there's
once a year.
There's like 3 tiers. There's open mic level, which is if you're a comedian, they'll still treat if you go there and say I'm a comedian, and there's room in the back, they'll let you watch the show or hang out.
Yeah.
They're not going to charge you money. Then they say there's friends and family, and that's saying basically one of two things. We think you're funny. We don't know if you're that funny yet, but we think you got something, or you've worked for us.
Yeah.
So I kind of somewhere in between there. I think they think I'm funny, and I worked for them.
You are funny.
Thank you. Funny. Yeah. So I was a door guy there for 5 years. So now I get to do 10-minute spots.
Well, one second, sponsor promotion real quick. Hey guys, go check out Comedy Showcase app. A couple years hit me up. You're already on there. It's a great place for comics to come show their stuff. Agents, bookers, talent. Are you on Comedy Showcase?
Yeah, I'm on there. I think 3 or 4 clips on there.
And you get a nice little paycheck if you get a lot of views. It's a great way for comics to spread their wings. So go check it out, Comedy Showcase app. Bam. But you hear Ari's story coming to LA. It's not about just staying at your grandma's house and having all these connections. He literally put the work in. He went from
I knew no one. No one in comedy. My aunt was an old lady. Did not know a single comedian.
Come to 2022 right now. Who are you touring with?
So right now, my main gig is I feature for Theo Von on the road.
Another success story.
But yeah, and then occasionally get a headline on my own. Just did Laugh Factory. When I was door guy at the Comedy Store, I was featuring for Pauly Shore on the road.
Yeah.
Santino. So a lot of cool stuff has happened.
He's headlining, and he's featuring for some huge stars.
Yeah, headlining here and there. The headlining game is. A lot of people think like, oh, I'm going to get really good. I'm going to get 45 minutes. I'm going to headline. I'm not saying you can't do that, basically right now to headline, you got to be able to sell tickets. That's what these clubs want. You got to be kind of famous.
Kind of famous.
If you want to actually make a good living at it. So that's the next step. Is to
what kind of advice could you give to comics right now that are watching this?
DM Jack Jr.
Do not do
ask
that.
Him for spots.
Don't
Just
do that.
hit him
I get
up
so
and say,
ask this guy for spots. No, do you know how many people hit me up every day?
I could only imagine.
Bro,
it's you know crazy. Why? You know why I could only imagine. So like, you know, do you work at the Haha still?
Honestly, between me and you, between everybody, I'm taking this year to focus on me. So I kind of took a little leave.
And you kind of do that from time to time, right?
I do it because
you take some time for you go back, help out, stuff like that.
Exactly.
But basically, like, I mean, the sad truth is, and you're a hilarious comedian, a headliner, doing all this, but everyone knows in the comedy world,
Jack is from Haha.
Jack Haha, right? Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, your parents started. It's cool. It's like you're like, it's like Pauly Shore was that. You know? You're Jack Haha. But because of that, people know, hey, if you're friends with Jack, you might get some spots at the Haha.
I know.
So I could only imagine the DMs you get, because I get DMs from people all the time asking for shit, and I don't even have anything to give people.
Yeah.
And I get people hitting me up all the time, like, can I open for you? Can you put in a word with me for this? Can you put in a word? Can you introduce me to this? And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to get this stuff from. I don't have anything.
I get about 50 to 75 texts a day, DMs and Facebook.
Jesus.
I get people tagging me on their videos that they post. They just tag me.
Because they want you to see that.
Yeah. I don't want to see.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you performing at a bar show.
So it's like, that's like a blessing to me. That's a blessing that you have that, but it's also a curse, right?
Like, imagine if I stole material. You know how much material I have? Like, it's not good.
Yeah. Being in that position is like a blessing, because everyone wants to know you. Everyone wants to be friends with you.
But you don't know who your friends are.
Yeah. I mean, I like to think, or at least for me, I'd be able to tell. Like, you could tell who's like a real person, who's like when every time they see you, they only, even me, like, there's people who, when I see them, I could have a normal conversation with them. And then there's people when I see them, all they want to talk about is like, oh, you have this going on. You have this. Oh, could you help me with this? You know what I mean?
That's right. I have a lot of those.
Yeah. So,
hey, you want to get lunch? And then we have lunch, and it's like, hey, so I saw you were at this club.
Right. So those people I keep, at arms. I keep at arm's distance.
Be a friend. Be a friend.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about sushi right now?
Exactly. So, like,
sometimes
who's a real person,
totally.
Who's not, because
and I don't have many friends.
Unfortunately, and I imagine this is with all aspects of show business, acting, probably even more so, modeling, music. Anyone who's pursuing that is a narcissist, including us. Like, if you're going for comedy, we're narcissists, but there's still levels. So, like, can I be a narcissist and still be a good person and a good friend to someone? Yeah, but there's certain people where in their head, when they see you, all they see is money signs, spots, that, and those people you got to keep.
Like, I volunteer for Burbank Parks and Recs. I coach kids basketball. I don't get paid, but I do it because it keeps me mentally normal. None of these kids, none of these parents know about comedy or anything.
Yeah.
So I have something to do once a week.
No one wants anything
from
me.
No one wants anything. Yeah. I'm just coaching. I'm playing basketball, something I love. That's what I love to do. But like, sometimes I'm on the road. I'm home on Friday night and my phone won't ring unless it's for like, how can I help you? It's like sometimes I go, hey man, let's just go have a beer.
Yeah.
Let's just go kick it, So that's why now I like Justin Bieber song, I'm so lonely. I'm like,
yeah, totally.
I totally get it, man.
Yeah,
he probably has no friends because he just thinks everyone wants something from him,
Yeah, but there's still, like I said, I think you could tell. And then there's a lot of people who it's like, they're your real friend because they don't want anything from you. Yeah. They already get all the spots everywhere, and they're still friends with you. It's like
I have a question to ask you. Okay, this is the last question. Okay. You see how you put all the work in, right? You made all the contacts. You met the Theo Vons. You met your whole list. And then one of your friends goes, "Hey man, can I get their numbers?" How do you answer that question? Like, hey, all those managers, all those bookers, all those producers, all that work you put in over the years.
Can I have
a cheat sheet?
And then what they don't get is like, even if I gave you Jack Jr.'s number, you think you're gonna text him and he's gonna be like, oh for sure. Yeah, it's like that's like they need to know you. So I don't know. Most of the time when someone's asking for that, they just don't get it.
They don't get it, right?
So, or they're new, and which is why they don't get it. Because like I remember when I was in college, I had done comedy literally 2 or 3 times. I saw there was like a little comedy scene in Santa Cruz, and I didn't know how it worked. I just hit up the guy who was running the show, and I go, oh, hey, can I see you're doing a show next week? Can I have a spot?
Yeah.
And I would never do that now.
Yeah.
But in that moment, I didn't know how it worked. I was like, how else am I supposed to get on a spot if I don't ask the guy? Now I know you hang out, you do mics, you get to know the people, or at least that's my strategy.
That is a strategy.
But so if someone hits me up, if I don't know who they are, I ignore them. I don't know if that's the nicest thing to do, but if you're a stranger, and your message to me is just asking for something, I'm probably gonna ignore it. If I know who you are and you're really funny, maybe I will help you out, and I like you, or I'll try to help you out. Not that I could help out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough. There's always that fine line.
There's always that thin line. It's like so many people, and if you're watching, if I ignore you, it's not that I don't like you.
It's not personal.
If I send you, hey, send me your avails at Mondays at 5 p.m. and you send it to me on Wednesday at 6 o'clock, I want time for Jack. I have kids. I have a family. I want to be normal.
And here's the other thing, and I'm sure you can agree to this. There's also thousands of comedians in LA, and a lot of them are really funny. There's a lot of shitty ones, but you probably have in your phone over 100 comedians that you would love to hook up with a spot. Yeah. So it's like, if someone might hit you up for something and you turn them down, you might even think they're really funny and like them a lot, but it's just like, hey, I have too many mouths.
Keep spots open for these big names.
Right. There's so many factors that go into it. It's like, that's why I don't even.
Dude, this was a really great episode. I really enjoyed it.
Is it too inside baseball?
It was so great. I guess this is what the podcast is about. It's about comedy club, confessions, hearing the inside information, because a lot of people don't know this. How it works, and like, you get it. You totally. I knew you were.
I get it. I might even get it to the point where it hurts me. Like, I think if anything, I'm the least aggressive comedian there is. I don't ask people for anything.
You're stoned right now.
Sorry.
But listen, you guys need to follow him. Where can they find you?
Ari Mannis on everything. ARIMANNIS. I got a website. Ladies,
Instagram, he's looking for love. He's a very good guy. He's a very good guy.
I'll treat you right. I'll give you a massage with oil.
Massage with oil, man.
I'll serve you fruit. I'll feed you fruit while you're in the bathtub. What do girls want? Is that what girls want? Girls want to be fed fruit, right?
Where are you performing at next?
Where am I going? San Diego. I'm leaving. I'm going to visit my youngest brother in Spain for a few weeks. He's studying abroad there, so that's exciting. But when I get back, I have a few shows in San Diego.
Are you lining up shows in Spain?
No, I should.
You should.
But no, I'm not. Oh, I'm doing that. I saw you were on the. I don't know if you're performing or there as a Big Shot, but the Big Pine.
You're on that.
It's funny, they had like they're doing like a.
Oh, you want to do my birthday show?
I'd love to.
Yeah.
They're doing a like a round robin industry panel meeting.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's the industry?
It's speed dating.
And speed dating.
Yeah.
And you're on there, so I'm gonna be speed dating you.
It's really good. It's really cool. It's 1 minute. You go, what do you do? It's fun. I actually met a lot of good comics from out of state over there. Big Pine Comedy Festival coming up. Ari's on it. I'm gonna be celebrating my birthday over there. It's been a good time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comedy Club Confessions.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you. Bye. Sweet.